Amy, and today I'm going to be filming my March wrap-up. So in my last TBR video, just imagine that this is the list of books that I was going to read in March. Just gone. Poof. Like, I didn't even listen. A lot of those books that I wanted to read, I was gonna get in my March book haul, but I didn't get a book haul, so I just didn't read them. And so I'm hopefully gonna read them in April, but we'll get to that later. But now, the books that I read in March. The first book that I read was Infinity by Sherilyn Kenyon. I'd probably give it like 85% because it reminded me of Percy Jackson, but not really like Percy Jackson. I thought that it was really cliche, and it felt like a children's book that was trying to be a young adult book, but was still very juvenile. Is that the right word? I tried to read the second book in that series, but I didn't finish it. I got up to like 150 pages in, but it was just such a chore to read it, and I just didn't like it. I don't even know why I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't. The other book that I read in March is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, and I don't have the book with me currently because I lent it to a friend, but I actually filmed a review of this, so I'm just gonna link it if you press on the book, so you should click on the book because then you can see my review and it'll be a fun time for everyone. And I'm not even sure if I can technically count this as reading it because this is two books. So I was trying to read the first book in this, Obsidian, because I had read part of the book like earlier in the school year. So then I was reading like the last 200 pages of it, but then I realized I had already read it and I was actually on the second book and I was really angry at myself, but I tried to read the second book, but then I realized I already knew what was going on. So I think I might have skimmed through, or I might have spoiled myself, or I might have finished the book a while ago, so I don't even know. But I know I finished the first book in this. What does the second book count for? Like, is that like, did I finish half of it? And the fact that like it's two books in one book now, does that mean that I read like 3/4 of a book? Or is that 1 1/2 because it's two books? And why would you put two books in one book? I just love that. My reading month wasn't very good because, like I said, those books I was having a really difficult time reading, and I was like, oh my gosh, am I like losing my reading? Am I getting worse at reading? Reading is like a sport, and I always prided myself into thinking I'm a pretty fast reader. But then lately, I haven't been reading actual books. I've been reading Wattpad books. I think I read 10 Wattpad books, but the thing is, I don't know if I can count them as actual books. So I was reading a book called Invisible by Del Sheeran Gladden. I think that's it. But then when I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Apparently it's part of a series, and then I wanted the next book, but the next book was published, and apparently the first book was published too. So I looked it up and I read a 238-page book in less than a day, and I was like, I still got this. I felt really proud because it was a normal-sized Wattpad book for me to read. So I was like, wait, does that mean that Wattpad books are a lot longer than I thought? Because I always thought of them as like 100 pages. But apparently a book that I thought was like 100 pages was 238 pages. But my thoughts of this book, I actually enjoyed it, and I thought the story was really interesting. If you have a Wattpad, then you should totally read it. And I just love how she opens the book though, because it barged into him taking a shower. And it was definitely funny, but I think it does get more serious, but not really more dark as the story progresses, but it was still really good. And then probably one of my favorite books that I read in March is going to be The Winner's Curse by Marie Lukotsky. And I actually just posted a review of this. Click it, click it, click it, click her face, click her rose dress. And the final book I read was Night by Elie Wiesel, and I had to read that for school, and it's about the author, how he was sent to a concentration camp. And I wouldn't really pick this up for fun reading, but seeing how it was like from like a survivor's point of view was so astounding. So I'll just go more in depth of my wrap-up video. So I'll also put like shows and stuff I watch, but I don't watch a lot of TV. Turning on the TV makes me feel so sad because like, what happened to it? Am I growing up, or is TV just getting worse? Tell someone answer me that question. An anime that I watched and finished and freaking loved was The Blue Exorcist. It's only like 26 episodes, and I was laughing and I was crying, and the plot was so good, and then the characters were just all so lovable, and then it was always funny, but at the same time they could be serious. 10 out of 10 stars. And then the other anime that I watched was Tokyo Ravens, and that was also a really good one. There are some episodes that have a lot of talking. There are other episodes that have a lot of battle. Some people might think that it was kind of slow in the beginning, but just keep on watching, and I swear it gets really interesting. Both of those animes just messed with my heart and my mind and just my body and just everything about it. Everything about them was just a wonderful, and if you like anime, please watch them. Thanks for watching! Bye! Ah, there's a bee! Oh! Animals like animals like animals. It was really good. I love that.